Hey gang, what's up? Hope everybody's having a good day out there today, and welcome back here to another edition of the Fishing Teacher. Today we're going to be talking about how to fish the peed. Guys, the peed is one of the best springtime lures that you'll ever fish. It's one of my all-time favorites. I've been fishing it forever, man. Give you guys some good tips and advice on how to catch some fish with it. So when you're talking about basically the peed here, this is a Zoom centipede, I called it, and basically it's just a chunk of plastic that's sort of like, there's really no description about it. It's sort of got flat edges on one side. People call it the French fry. It looks like a French fry. That's what they called it before the centipede. But it was originally what it was back in 1985, an angler named Jack Chancellor won the Bassmasters Classic on what's called a do-nothing rig. And a do-nothing rig was basically the French fry like this on a Carolina rig setup. And I've started incorporating it beyond that in clearwater fisheries like Table Rock in the springtime of the year. Now, there's several different ways you want to fish this, and we'll talk about the conditions. First of all, my favorite way to fish it is on a split shot rig. Now, a split shot rig is where you just take the centipede and Texas rig it, and then about probably 12 to 18 inches above it, just go down to like Walmart and get you a split shot, like one of those crimp-on split shots. Crimp it on your line, and the weight is down here, and the centipede is above it there. It's sort of like a finesse Carolina rig, and that's why it's really good. So normally I'm fishing it on a spinning rod with 8-pound test line. I put a 1/0 hook in it, like an offset hook in it, and I'm fishing it around what I consider staging areas, like pre-spawn staging areas. So for example, if you've got like a cove or a creek that has like some secondary points in it, and you have water visibility of over like say 2.5 or 3 feet, take the peed and split shot it and just fish it sort of in that 5 to 20 foot zone in and around those secondary points. And what happens is a lot of those fish in the more clear water environments will stage on those secondary points. In other words, if you're not familiar with staging, what they do is they'll come out of deep water for the winter time. They'll sort of congregate around these little secondary points, and then as the water gets warmer, they'll move back into the adjacent coves to spawn. And taking the split shot rig or the peed rig and fishing it on those secondary points is a really good way to catch them. Now, as far as the lakes that it works best in, I have done the best in it where you have a mixed species. Say, for example, if you have a lake that has a few smallmouth bass, some spotted bass, and some largemouth bass, and some clean water, that is where it's going to work really, really good. So all you guys that fish like maybe Lake Lanier in Georgia, some of the eastern Tennessee lakes, all the Ozark lakes, some of you guys that are fishing out west like in Lake Oroville or Lake Shasta, the peed rig is definitely one that you're going to want to have. So color, guys, I keep it pretty much basic, green pumpkin or watermelons like that. And it's just really, really good. I catch a lot of fish on it when the water temperature is low 50s to low 60s. That's when it's absolutely at the best. Now, another way that you can fish it, I've caught a lot of fish on this thing flipping it, just pitching it and flipping it like you would a worm or a creature or a jig. I'll put it like on a 3/16 or a 1/4 ounce slip sinker, peg it on there, and just pitch it and flip it around any cover. I finished really high in a Lake Okeechobee, Florida tournament one year, flipping a June bug colored peed into the grass and the reeds at Lake Okeechobee. So give it a try, guys. Centipede's a great way to catch them in the spring. One of my favorite baits. I'll be having the tie-down lot coming up the next month or so. We'll talk later.